Det er tid til at tage tilbage til Azeroth. Jeg har været til BlizzCon, hvor jeg fik muligheden for at interviewe 2 udviklerne bag den nye expansion til World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth. Jeg spurgte dem om forskellige features til den nye expansion, samt en eventuel release date. I kan se, hvad de svarede lige her.
I'm Shani Edwards. I'm one of the art producers for World of Warcraft. I deal with the character artists, the animators, and the riggers, but I'm also the producer for Allied Races.
I am Jalen Brack. I'm the executive producer. I'm sort of the chief project manager for the project.
In the previous expansions, we have been like Horde and Alliance fighting together, having common NPCs and common factions, faction cities like Dalaran and Khadgar and Velen. How does this translate into suddenly an all-out conflict between the 2 factions?
One of the things we've done is we've made capital cities for each, the Alliance and the Horde, and they'll be leveling in separate zones. So that's kind of one of the things that we've done to separate them. They'll each have different storylines. And then all of the major features that we're putting into this expansion are going to centralize around that conflict and that battle.
You know, so one of the big themes of the Legion conflict is the invasion of the Burning Legion, and you know the Horde and Alliance are going to work together, and they're going to come together to try to defeat the head bad guy of the Burning Legion, who is Sargeras. And I have a good feeling that the players are going to be successful in that. Once Sargeras is defeated, you know, I think a lot of the things that have been set aside during this conflict are going to come to the surface, right? You know, the Alliance very much blames the Horde for the death of King Varian on the Broken Shore. And those type of things that are not forgiven and they're not forgotten by the opposite faction. And, you know, these long simmering hatreds that have existed between these guys, with no thing to rally them together, they kind of are going to revert to their tribalism and revert to their team and their faction. And so that's going to be the impetus.
From the community, there's always a long time been a cry for like sub-races and more customization. And now we're going to get the Allied races, which new customization, of course. Is there any plans to add in customizations to existing races?
So that's always something that we're considering, and for this expansion, we decided to focus our efforts on allied races. So we wanted to make them as cool as possible. So our character art efforts went into new hairstyles for them and new tattoos, new markings, and all of those customizations that you'll find with them. They're also going to be getting new heritage armor sets, new racial mounts, new racial abilities. They're coming with a whole suite of new things. So that's kind of where that art effort went this time around.
In Legion, there was the legendary system, which was both loved and hated for various reasons. Is this a system you intend on continuing in Battle for Azeroth?
You know, I think the legendary system, I think you captured it very well, right? It's very, very loved, and it feels really awesome when you get one, but also there's been a lot of negativity around it as well. It is not a system that is going to move forward into Battle for Azeroth. So, you know, I think we've learned some lessons for that. We've learned some lessons to kind of think about how we handle itemization in the future, but that's not a system that's going to move forward.
Previously did an item squish where you try to normalize the numbers a bit. Is there a plan of doing this again?
We are planning to do a stat squish for Battle for Azeroth.
Yeah. The idea would be able to bring those numbers back into kind of a more normal range in the similar way that we did before.
Also, there's this new leveling experience for the old world. Does this mean that we can expect some sort of revamped old world, or is it still going to be like the Cataclysm leveling experience?
It'll definitely still be the same world, the same art that you went through in Cataclysm, the same quests, but they will be scaled differently. So you won't out-level that zone before you finish the story in it. And you'll also have options to choose between which expansion you want to do. So, for example, Outland and Northrend might be the same leveling band. So you can choose to do one or the other, or you can swap back and forth between the two.
Yeah, so for level 1 players, the world will still exist for the way it does now for them, right? As you kind of progress through the story and progress through the content, you'll actually have the events of the burning of Teldrassil happen. You'll have the events of the invasion of Lordaeron happen, and after that event, those cities will become unavailable, right? So it'll be basically just a phase in terms of different things that we've done in the past.
There's been a lot of talk about Battle for Azeroth, but I couldn't really find any mentions of like a release date or a schedule for when we're gonna be able to get our hands on it.
Tomorrow. No. Blizzard doesn't release dates for anything, right? And so this is no different.
No. But is it like next summer maybe, or?
Blizzard doesn't really release dates, so like everything, and so it'll be ready when it's ready.
Okay. Well, that's right.
Well done.
Well, I had to try. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess I can try again. No, I think that's about the questions I had. So thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For det hårdt, eller for det Alliance, hvem er du mest til? Skriv det hernede under i kommentarfeltet, og så ellers tak fordi I så med.